If you've ever looked in the mirror and wondered, what happened to me? You're not alone. When your blood flow isn't what it used to be, everything changes. Your strength fades, your energy diminishes, and intimacy, once a vibrant part of life, slowly becomes a distant memory. But here's something surprising. Baking soda, a common household powder, may help unclog your veins, promote healthy circulation, and revive the vitality you thought was gone for good. I'm Dr. James, and for over 30 years, I've helped men over 60 regain their health, energy, and confidence, naturally, safely, and without risky medications. What I'm about to share might challenge everything you think you know about aging. It's a paradox. The same simple ingredient we use to soothe our stomachs could also unlock better blood flow and reconnect you with a stronger, more vibrant self. I'll explain how, just ahead. Seconds, how to take baking soda in a step-by-step manner in order to provide your body with assistance from the inside out. If you make this one small adjustment, you might find that you feel more alive, more present, and more like yourself. Again, stay with me because you are going to want to hear this. Before we go any further, I would like to extend an invitation to you to subscribe to my channel and to press the bell. By doing so, you will ensure that you do not miss any future advice that is specifically designed to assist you in feeling stronger, healthier, and more confident during any age. Simply put 1 in the comments section. If you feel that this message resonates with you, in that case, type 0. I read each and every remark, and I am determined to get better. Due to you. Let's take a look at what's actually going on within the body after the age of 60, in order to comprehend why this seemingly insignificant routine can have such a profound impact. Simply because the majority of guys do not experience a decline in their level of intimacy or vitality as they get older. They gradually lose it as a result of a gradual decrease in circulation that occurs year after year. Once you have a better understanding of why that occurs, you will be able to see exactly why baking soda could be the ingredient that is missing. When a patient looked me in the eye for the first time and said, "Doctor, I don't feel like a man anymore," I will never forget that moment. I will always remember why circulation slows down at the age of 60 and why it affects everything. He was not referring to physical power or muscularity. Rather, he was discussing the concept of connection, the uncomplicated pleasure of waking up with a sense of vitality, having a sense of vitality, a sense of being required. However, the reality is that his tale was not an exception. An internal change occurs in guys as they get older. In some cases, it is not dramatic. To begin, it is subtle. Perhaps you feel exhausted after going for a short walk. It is possible that your hands and feet are cooler than they were in the past. Perhaps the feeling of intimacy is simply absent. And after some time, something that was once effortless turns into a struggle. It is not a sign of weakness. It is a matter of biology. Nitric oxide is a naturally occurring chemical that helps relax and widen your blood vessels. After the age of 60, your body begins to manufacture significantly less of this compound. In the absence of sufficient amounts of it, the movement of blood through your arteries is more difficult. What is the end result? Slow circulation was seen. Your brain, your muscles, and yes, the areas of you that help you feel like yourself in the bedroom will receive less oxygen as a result of this occurrence. The idea is not in your head. You have it in your blood. Performance is not the only thing that is impacted by poor circulation. The way you think, the way you sleep, and even how you feel about yourself are all altered as a result. Inflammation, weariness, cognitive fog, and a losing sense of connection are all symptoms that can develop over time as a result of reduced blood flow. The fact that so many men get the sensation that a part of them is disappearing is not surprising. On the other hand, this is what I tell each and every man who enters my office. It is not impossible for something to resume its previous pace simply because it has slowed down. Support can be provided for blood flow. Help is available for your body without placing another bottle of prescription medication on your nightstand in a gentle and natural manner. Suppose I were to tell you that there is something that is now stored in your kitchen cupboard, something that is inexpensive, risk-free, and shockingly effective, and that it has the potential to restore blood flow and energy in ways that the majority of medical professionals never discuss. Your response can take you by surprise. Today, we are going to discuss baking soda, but not just any use of it. A particular approach that turns out to be the deciding factor. Simply put the number 1 in the comment section to let me know that you are paying attention to what I have to say if you are still here, and my message is having an effect on you. It is really important to ensure that this is reaching the appropriate individuals as of right now. Let's proceed. I have further information that I would want to share with you. 2. What baking soda actually does inside your body. When I first came across the data on baking soda that was being circulated, I must confess that I raised an eyebrow. I had always thought of it as something that you might put in your refrigerator to absorb odors, or perhaps you could mix it into a glass to calm a stomach that didn't feel right. However, the more I investigated it, the more I came to the realization that this unassuming white powder had a great deal more potential than anyone was giving it credit for. You have to understand that as we get older, our body's capacity to control pH, which is the equilibrium between acidity and alkalinity, starts to become less effective. It is possible that your body will get more acidic over time, particularly if you consume processed meals, do not drink enough water, or are under a lot of stress on a regular basis. This atmosphere is acidic, which causes inflammation, causes blood vessels to become more constricted, and makes it more difficult for blood to flow freely. Moreover, when the flow of blood slows down, energy levels drop, clarity diminishes, and intimacy becomes more difficult. It is at this point that baking soda reveals its unexpectedly high value. Baking soda has the ability to operate as a natural alkalizer when it is consumed judiciously, in the appropriate quantity, and at the appropriate time. As a result, it assists in restoring equilibrium to your body. Something very spectacular takes place once that equilibrium is brought back into place. Beginning to relax are the blood vessels. The amount of nitric oxide produced increases, the inflammation improves. Generally speaking, your blood, which was previously heavy and sluggish, starts to move without as much resistance. Your heart is not the only organ that feels the effects of better circulation. It permeates every aspect of your being. My experience has shown that men who have been working with me frequently report feeling more aware, more grounded, and yes, more connected to their partner once again. It is not a miracle. Your body is receiving the environment it needs in order to carry out the functions for which it was intended. However, this is the most important part. If you utilize it in the appropriate manner, it will only work. A great number of individuals under the mistaken belief that more is better have gone beyond their limits, resulting in discomfort or failure. When it comes to baking soda, the power lies in its precision. If you make a minor adjustment and do it well, it has the potential to have a domino impact throughout your entire system. To be more specific, how should you take it down? What is the strategy that is both safe and effective, and that guys over the age of 60 are utilizing to achieve success? Allow me to systematically guide you through the process. 3. Using baking soda in the appropriate manner to improve circulation and vitality. Allow me to share with you something that I have discovered after working in the medical field for many years. When carried out in a consistent and accurate manner, the tiniest things frequently result in the most significant improvements. When it comes to baking soda, the manner in which you use it is just as important as the question of whether or not you use it at all. In the past few years, I had a patient named Robert who was 68 years old, retired from engineering, had a keen mind, kind eyes, but was frustrated. I am walking, eating better, and sleeping better, but I still feel weird, heavy, and sluggish. He remarked to the doctor, "I am doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing." As soon as we made a single adjustment, which was to modify the manner in which and the timing of his consumption of baking soda, everything began to shift. Therefore, allow me to take you through the specifics of what I spoke with him. To begin, the dosage needs to be somewhat low. A glass of water that is 8 ounces in volume and is at room temperature is mixed with 4 teaspoons of pure baking soda that is of food-grade quality. And that's it. In addition, it is essential to have it first thing in the morning before breakfast and before coffee, because this is the time of day when your body is naturally more acidic after one night of fasting. During this time, the alkalizing effect is at its peak concentration. You are not only consuming something, rather you are resetting the chemistry that goes on inside of you. In addition, I suggest that you do this no more than 3 to 4 times per week and never on a daily basis. At this point, the objective is not to force anything or to overwhelm your body with sodium over the course of time. The objective is to provide your blood, your vessels, and your energy system with gentle assistance. It is more accurate to think of it as tweaking the engine as opposed to revving it. In addition, if you want to bring out the full potential of the impact, you may add a squeeze of lemon or a pinch of natural salt. However, the results can be evident even when used on their own. After roughly 2 weeks had passed, Robert gave me a call. According to him, it is as if someone restored the power to the lights, better mental clarity and more energy. There was a renewed sense of possibility for connection. When it comes to the puzzle, however, baking soda is only one piece. Mostly due to the fact that once circulation begins to improve, something even more potent starts to return. Something that a lot of men are afraid they have lost for good. Following that, let's talk about that. In the event that you are still with me and find this information to be helpful, feel free to put the number 1 in the comments section. I just wanted to make sure that you are aware that I am speaking to you here. As we move on with point number 4, let's continue to move forward. 4. What men are going through. One of the most satisfying aspects of my job is getting feedback from men who at one point believed that their best days were behind them. However, they recently came to the realization that they still had more life left in them than they had expected. In addition, I am not referring to miracles or transformations that take place overnight. When I talk about real men like you and me, I'm referring to those who made a minor adjustment and are now experiencing a sense of being themselves once more. Specifically, I remember one man named Charles, who was a former high school coach and was 71 years old. The handshake was firm, but you could see that he was exhausted by the look in his eyes. He told me that it was not just about sexual activity. It is about having the sensation that I am still the same person who my wife looks at in the same way that she did in the past. I was able to remember that after a few weeks of following the baking soda program, he sent me a phone call to express his gratitude. On the other hand, he claimed that he was not participating in any marathons or other similar activities. His mornings were more clear. His energy returned more quickly after walks, and his connection with his wife was warm once more. It was not rushed or pressured. Rather, it was simply present throughout the entire day. As he put it, it's almost as if my body is responding to me once more. Furthermore, he is not the only one. Over the course of my life, I have been told stories by guys who are in their 60s, 70s, and even 80s. Some people claim that they do better throughout the day. Some people have reported fewer trips to the restroom during the night. There are a lot of people who talk about how their relationships have regained a certain level of calm confidence, and almost all of them say the same thing. The sooner I had learned this, the better. It's not simply a bodily sensation. They're also experiencing an emotional one. Once your circulation is improved, it will have an effect on every aspect of your life. You experience a sense of strength. You present yourself in a more complete manner. And that spark, that feeling of being alive, begins to return. There is one more thing that you need to be aware of. Despite the fact that these tales are really strong, mostly due to the fact that it is simple to do this wrong if you are not careful. And if you do, you run the risk of undoing the very gains that you have labored so diligently to achieve. Now that we have that out of the way, let's focus on the most common errors that should be avoided. 5 common errors to avoid. Over the course of my life, I've witnessed firsthand how effective basic routines can be when they are utilized appropriately. Having said that, I have also witnessed how simple it is to obstruct development, even when one has the best of intentions. This is the reason why this particular section is so vital, due to the fact that baking soda has the potential to be really useful. There are a few crucial blunders that might prevent you from achieving your goals, or even worse, cause you harm. The first is the idea that being more is preferable. There have been instances in which men have returned to me and said, "Doctor, if a 4 teaspoon was effective, perhaps a full teaspoon will be even more effective." That is not how the body functions at all. An excessive amount of baking soda can cause your body to become overloaded with sodium, cause irritation to your stomach, and potentially cause your blood pressure to rise. This is not about imposing change on your body. Rather, it is about maintaining the natural rhythm that your body has. It's true that less is more. Taking it without taking any pauses over the course of a single day is the second mistake. Even when you are doing something excellent, your body still needs to rest. When you use baking soda 3 or 4 times per week, you allow your body the opportunity to adjust and react to the substance. Putting in effort on a daily basis can be counterproductive. You're not looking for fast fixes here. Rather, you're developing support for the long term. One further widespread problem is the utilization of baking soda of poor quality items that contain additional additives or metal. Always go for a version that is clean and suitable for meals. Do not forget to drink some water. In the past, I've had a few courageous individuals attempt to dry it out, and let's just say that it didn't go very well. And last, avoiding the talk with your physician, particularly if you have renal problems, high blood pressure, or are following a diet that restricts sodium intake. The same level of respect should be given to natural therapies as it is to any medication. The history of your health is important, and your safety should always come first. It is not my intention to frighten you, but rather to empower you. Since if you steer clear of these blunders, you will provide your body with the finest possible opportunity to react in its entirety. You make it possible for genuine change to set in. There is a possibility that you are currently wondering, how do I put all of this into practice? Now, what is the initial step? The question is, how can I tell whether it is actually working for me? First, let's go over the specific steps that need to be taken next, as well as how to begin this trip with self-assurance. Sucks, the next steps. If you've made it this far, it's a sign that you're interested in something significant. You are prepared. You are not merely intrigued or curious. Rather, you are actually prepared to initiate some kind of action for yourself. You don't have to completely transform your life in order to experience the change, which is the good news. You only need to begin with a single manageable activity that you do consistently. The following is what I suggest. A 4 teaspoon of food-grade baking soda should be mixed into a glass of water that is at room temperature. This should be done the following morning before breakfast, before the cacophony of the day begins. While you're drinking it slowly, give it a gentle stir and take a deep breath. Neither hurried nor distracted are we. The only one beginning the process of improving circulation, enhancing energy clarity, and establishing a more profound connection. Perform this exercise 3 or 4 times a week, rather than on a daily basis, and pay attention to how your body reacts to it. Do not anticipate any fireworks. It's not a magic trick, believe me. On the other hand, after a few days, you might find that you are waking up with a little bit more clarity, walking with a little bit more ease, and experiencing a sense of being more grounded in your conversations, your thoughts, and your relationships. There is more to it than just performance. Having presence is the key regarding the sensation of being able to deliver the greatest version of yourself to the people you care about and feeling that you are the best version of yourself. Again, additionally, you shouldn't go it alone. you should discuss your worries with your physician. Discuss this with a friend who could be experiencing the same emotions and pay attention to what your body is telling you. It is more knowledgeable than we typically give it credit for being. This is how things get started. It is not through a prescription or another promise in a bottle. Rather, it is through a single choice that you make in the privacy of your own kitchen. Furthermore, the modifications can have a ripple effect that extends outward in ways that you did not anticipate. Now, before we go on to the next topic, there is one last item that I would want to leave you with. It is the most essential message of all the messages. Indeed, that is something that a significant number of guys do not hear frequently enough, particularly as they get older. Be sure to stay with me because this section has the potential to completely transform the way you perceive yourself. 7. This is the final message from Dr. James. If you only take away one thing from everything that we have discussed, let it be this. Not at all, you are still in your prime. It is not too late, too old, or too far gone for you to continue. You may have noticed a gradual deterioration over the years, but it is not something that will last forever. It is not an indication that you have passed the best days of your life. As a signal, it is not giving up, but rather requesting support from your body. In the past, we have discussed how circulation gradually decreases as we get older, how the generation of nitric oxide decreases, and how a single alteration can have a profound impact on everything. Energy, clarity, and connection are all included. In this article, we have discussed how a straightforward and well-known item like as baking soda, when utilized appropriately, can assist in rebalancing your system, providing support for your blood vessels, and restoring something that many men believe they have permanently lost. You've been exposed to genuine, truthful accounts from males who are similar to yourself. It has been made clear to you that this is not about pursuing youth, regaining your energy. Being fully present and experiencing a sense of strength and presence in your life, in your body, and in your relationships are all important aspects of this. Over 30 years of my life, I have had the privilege of sitting across from guys who simply desired to regain their sense of self. I am able to assure you that your age is not your adversary. The term disconnection, and as soon as you start to take care of your body with intention, even if it's just in a small way, you start to shift the tale you've been telling yourself. Therefore, if you have been experiencing a slow morning, if you have experienced a decline in your confidence, and if you have been quietly wondering if this is the way that it will finish, remember that it doesn't have to be this way. What you have today is a place of departure, a single glass a few mornings out of the week, and a frame of mind that expresses, I'm not done yet. I am not becoming less noticeable. Once more, I am making the decision to look for myself. And if you ever find yourself questioning that decision, allow me to remind you that there is a reason you are still here. Continued to listen and continued to search. Your following chapter will be about that cause. If you want to claim it, it is well worth the effort you put in. If this message meant something to you, if it provided you with clarity, hope, or even just a moment to breathe and think differently about your health, I would be extremely happy if you would take a moment to express your support, to let me know that this is reaching the individuals that require it. All you have to do is hit the like button. Although it might not seem like much, it is actually of great assistance. Also, if you know someone who is discreetly dealing with energy, confidence, or connection, whether it be a friend, a brother, a neighbor, or someone else, do not keep this information to yourself. Give it to them to go over. This is something that we don't talk about nearly enough, and a straightforward video might be the push that they've been looking for all along. In addition, I would be delighted to receive a direct response from you. Please leave a comment down below in your own path. Please share with me what struck out to you the most, or where you are currently at. Your experience is important. And your voice may inspire someone else to take the first step toward improving their health. regardless of whether you are just beginning to take your health seriously again, or whether you have been trying everything with little success overall. When we do this, we develop all at once. There is only one option. We had one conversation from one day to the next. Kindly like, share, and leave a comment below. I am grateful that you have chosen to spend this time with me. You are not the only one. There is yet more to come. In no way, shape, or form